everybody. Hi, everyone. As you know, it's me, Anastasia Macdonald, and I'm live here in Kyiv, Ukraine, in my best mentor in the whole wide world, home. And I'm here to do what we call post-Kindom fruit. Post-Kindom fruit. So before I start, I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes, or let me say seconds, to see whether anybody will join me this afternoon. Where is everybody? Where are you? Hello, beautiful people. Hi, Queen Vivian. Nice to see you. Hello, Queen Justine. Nice to see you all. How are you? How is everyone? Where are all the queens and the kings? Well, okay. This afternoon, I am going to be doing what we call post-Kindom fruit video. And I'm going to be talking about my 1-year anniversary since, Daddy God led me to Dr. Sunday Adelaja. It's been 1 year, 12 months since Daddy God led me to Dr. Sunday Adelaja. It was it looked like one day, one usual day in August, when at the time my contract had come to an end, so I didn't have a job. My two children at the time, or our sons, were in uni, and I was wondering, what to do next with my life. What to do next with my life. And so I love to learn. I love to do self-education. I love to do research. And I was on Facebook, and I happened to stumble to this message titled, "Why Joblessness is a Blessing." Good afternoon, Queen Inka. Lovely to see you. So I happened to, or Daddy God sneakyliciously, like I like to say, led me to Dr. Sunday. And the title of that message was, "Why Joblessness is a Blessing." So I thought, who has the audacity to say that joblessness is a blessing when the world and everybody else, even the church, advocates that, you need to get a job, you need to be working. Not that you need to be pursuing kingdom agenda or your calling, but you need to be working. You need to be doing Uncle Sam. So I thought, let me listen to this guy. Let me hear what he has to say. Good afternoon, Queen Ada. And so I listened and I watched this video, and I was floored. I was astounded at the revelation of why joblessness is a blessing. And I was greatly encouraged. I was over the moon. I was just beside myself. This just resonated so, everything that Dr. Sandy shared in the video just resonated deeply within me. I was the most happiest person. And so from that time onwards, I was hooked. And, at that time, Dr. Sandy Delaja was doing the broadcast twice a day, 7 o'clock in the morning and 7:30 at night, or in the evening. And I was immediately hooked, and I began to listen to his messages. I've never heard anything like his. I mean, they were just revolutionary. They were what can I explain? Sorry, what can I say? And so I was listening to Dr. Sanday's messages, and until I think it was October, when he did another teaching that really, really struck home. Good afternoon, Queen Stella, and okay, is it okay? And the title of that message was, "You're not an accident, you're not an afterthought, or you're not an afterthought, you're not an accident." So you're not an afterthought. I think you're not an afterthought, and you're not an accident. And he shared with us about, that God had orchestrated circumstances in our life, the traumas, the heartaches, and the sorrows, and all, all the dark things that can happen to one in one's life, that God, whom I affectionately call Daddy God, had orchestrated all these events for our calling. So he took his time and explained. And once again, I was thoroughly encouraged. I was thoroughly encouraged. I mean, he explained it in a way that nobody else had explained with such depth. And after the broadcast, I remember he encouraged every one of us who was on that platform that day to go out and launch our platform. So whether it be Facebook Live, whether it be a blog, whether it be writing a book, basically just go out and launch your ministry. And so basically you're going to be using the pain that Daddy God has taken you through. You're going to use that and just start being a blessing. Good afternoon, Queen Linda and Nkemulu. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me live. I'm doing a post video regarding my 1-year anniversary of meeting Dr. Sunday Adelaja, whom I describe as my best mentor in the whole wide world. In the whole wide world. Dr. Sunday Adelaja is my best mentor in the whole wide world. And I say it without any apologies. So like I said, so we encourage all of us, to go out there and launch our ministries. And at the time, I'm thinking, for those of you who have not watched my life story series, I talk about, my past, coming from a very dark place. If you go to YouTube, which I'm going to talk about a bit, but if you go to YouTube and type in Anastasia Macdonald and look for my life story series, you will get to know who I was, where I'm coming from, and where I am today. So anyway, so it was with trembling lips and knees knocking that November I took the plunge. I took a huge leap of faith, and started my life story series, which carried on until January. So I start pre-birth, before pre-birth, from the time Daddy God formed me in my mother's womb till 53. I chronicle my life story from where I used to be to where I am today. And the only reason I was able to do that systematically over weeks, so from November to January, was because of the message, you are not an afterthought and you are not an accident. Dr. Sunday has a way with words. He has a way with people. He speaks with a lot of empathy. He speaks with a lot of understanding. He speaks with a lot of love. He speaks with, he comes right down to your level. He lets you know that you can do what I am doing, that you are worthy, you are important, you are special. There's nobody like you. You have something that the world needs, So it was, with great, I was, at the time, I was quaking and shivering and shaking, and I launched my life story series. And even, from the first video, you'll be able to tell the difference. Good afternoon today. You'll be able to tell the difference till the time I completed. So that was good. And like I said, I was hooked on Dr. Sunday's teachings because I'd never heard anything like it. Now, at the time I met Dr. Sunday online, I've been a Christian for 30 years, and I've worked closely with some men of God. Some of them are very, very famous today. So I've worked closely with ministries and men of God when they started very small until when they came very huge. But I can tell you that I have never met anybody, any man that is like Dr. Sunday Adelaja. And that is the reason why I call him my best mentor in the whole wide world. It's not a mantra. I'm not sugarcoating him. I don't need to. I'm not sugarcoating him. It's because of what Daddy God has used this incredible, humble man of God to do, to lift me up from the dumps to where I am today. So the fact that I'm even live sharing my story with you again is once again the incredible mentorship of Dr. Sunday Edelaja. So anyway, so I finished those My Life Story series, and then I came to Ukraine for my first HMT, which is History Makers Training, in January. This year, I came to Ukraine, and that was also something else. I came to see Dr. Sunday, the real man of God, a person, maybe not to use the word man of God, but the real person that he is. I remember when I came, it was in the evening, and he was in the middle of the broadcast, so I just sneaked in and sat with other people. And then as soon as the broadcast was over, he just welcomed me so lovingly, so nice. And what even struck me, or shocked me, was when he went down on his knees and to welcome me, and he called me my sister, and he said, "Welcome to your home. This is your home." And I'm thinking, I mean, no man of God has ever called me, their sister. No man of God has, gone on their knees for me. If anything, I am the one that goes down on my knees all the time, and I'm the one that has to, to acknowledge, their, quote unquote, their majesty. And I'm not saying that, we should not show respect to any person, but I'm saying that, the tables have never been turned. But Dr. Sandy just welcomed me with a welcome that, up to date, is still not something I can never forget. And, he instantly made me see what it is to be in the kingdom of God. Now, apart from that, I had a wonderful time, obviously, being trained, and it was really intense. The HMT was intense, and it did give me new skills of how to organize my life, how to look at my time, and how to be more productive. So that was amazing. And at the same time, I remember requesting to see Dr. Sandy, have a one-to-one session with him. And once again, I was totally shocked, because when I was waiting for him in the living room, and then when he came in, he just sat there, put his feet on the sofa, and just started chatting with me. And I thought, which man of God does that? Which man of God? Good afternoon, Queen Lisa and Queen Onyinye. I mean, which man of God does that? Just sits there casually, as if, they're chatting with their daughter. But that's what he did. He just put his feet up, and we just chatted, about myself, about my story, and that was just amazing. And I said to him, all my Christian life, I was looking for something that I didn't know what I was looking for. I was looking for something that I didn't know what I was looking for. And I felt like a wanderer, even though I was born again, and even though, I loved God, and even though I was speaking in tongues and supposedly praying to him, but I knew that something was seriously missing from it, but I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And so I said to Dr. Sunny that, I feel at home. This is the first time I really feel at home. And he said to me these words, which are most profound, and it's given me the best understanding of what was missing. And he said to me, because you have entered the kingdom. You have entered the kingdom. And I went, aha, that is it. That is what I was looking for. That is what I've been looking for all my Christian years. He said, because you've entered the kingdom. That's why you feel at home. And I went, wow, the kingdom, the kingdom. You see, all my church years, that's what it's been. It's been about church. And I'm not saying that, church is bad. I'm not saying that church is negative, but there's a difference between the church and there's a difference between the kingdom. The church is an entrance, and then, a way into the kingdom. So what is a church? The church is a place to be equipped and to be trained, to be, to understand about the kingdom, to understand about daddy, about home. That's what the church is for, to equip you to know who you are as a child of God, to know your status as a child of God, to know what home is like, to be at home, to understand daddy God, to understand his principles, his laws, the love, kingdom, and everything else to do with the kingdom. But you see, the church has failed. What the church has been doing is loading us with laws and rules and regulations. So anyway, before I go ahead of myself, Dr. Sunday, his reality, him just being him, introduced me significantly into the kingdom of God. I just felt at home. I just felt at home. And to feel at home to feel at home is the greatest thing to experience, because Daddy God has called us to be at home with him. And without that, you be a Christian and you just be wandering. So my first time coming to Ukraine was very significant and very critical and very important. Our Daddy God, he organizes times and seasons. He knows exactly what you need. And so I encountered love, peace, security, Daddy God's way. Daddy God's way. And so it was with that I came back home, and not too long afterwards, Dr. Sunday started a teaching called the Kindom series. Oh my goodness, the Kindom series. And I was totally blown away by this Kindom series. I got to understand how, the mindset of Daddy God, why he created us, how we are really made in his image and his likeness, how we are God carriers, how, he wants us to replicate heaven on earth, why he has wired us the way he's wired us, why he's given us talents, gifts, and abilities, and how he's apportioned to all of us the promised land, whether it be media, whether it be in business, whether it be finance, whether it be education. Every one of us has got our promised land, and how, we are the solution to the world. We are the answer to the world. We are the kings and the queens, and how Daddy God wants us to, to become sons and daughters, to be matured, so that we can, and how we need to be educated, not just in the scriptures, but also in our area of calling, how we need to be equipped, whether it's a case where we need to go to school, to acquire the knowledge, so that we can be on par or even be above, so that we can be relevant in our, in our different spheres. And I went, oh my goodness, what is this? This is totally, So he was infusing us all with real identity, who we are. And I was totally charged up. And, I thought, at that time, I'd been carrying this seed of wanting to start a talk show. I've been carrying this seed of wanting to start a talk show and wanting to address the daddy issues. Because yes, I came from, I come from the background where, my daddy didn't raise me. I didn't have a father in my life. And like I said, you'd have to go to YouTube to watch my life story, to really understand my story and where I'm coming from. So I grew up with a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of heartache of not having a dad in my life. And I just felt that I needed to go out there and talk about the issues for those of us who grew up without a daddy, and also to introduce the daddy of all daddies, who is Daddy God. That's why I call him my Daddy God, not just because, I just feel like calling Daddy God, but because he is my Daddy God, and he's my Daddy God for real. So I started the talk show, once again taking a huge step of faith, because, I'm not somebody that puts myself, in the public eye or stands in the front. I don't do that. I'm the one that stands in the background, and that's life experience has taught me to hide away, and so this was really, really huge. But because of the way that Dr. Sunday's teachings, and because of Dr. Sunday is not just his teachings, he is his teachings. He is the message. Now, because I've witnessed a lot of the message, but not the message and the person, being one. So it gave me great confidence, to step out and do this. So I did step out once again, and It's Your Daddy. Who is Your Daddy talk show? And it's something that I do every Sunday, but the last 1 month, obviously because I'm not at home and I've been away, so I've taken a break, but once I'm back in the UK, I will resume. So yes, I started a talk show, Who is Your Daddy series. This was to do with the mentorship. And then after that, I thought, okay, what else can I do to impact people's life? I thought, why not create? Hello there, sorry, there was just some internet there, sorry about that. So like I said, I thought, after the talk show, I just wanted to, now I'm gaining more confidence, I'm being infused with, the confidence of God by Dr. Sunday. I thought, okay, what else can I do to help people? And I thought, why not set up a page called My Daddy God for Real? There are two queens walking by. So why not set up a page called My Daddy God for Real with Anastasia Macdonald? And the whole idea for this page was once again to help people develop a close, friendly, warm, creative, fun relationship with Daddy God. So if you go to Facebook right now and type My Daddy God for Real with Anastasia Macdonald, you will see that page, and that's the idea, to help using my my gift of art, because I'm an artist as well, and creativity, to help people, to encourage people, get to know Daddy God for who he really is, to get to know him, because a lot of us, have warped ideas who Daddy God is. We think that he's this mean, horrible dictator. And I didn't want that. I want people to get to know him. Not that I know everything about Daddy God, but the little that I do know, I wanted to share it with people so that they can enter into this loving relationship and get to know him, the one who created all of us. And look behind me, look at the trees there. The one who created the trees and all the flowers and all the birds and all the bees, everything else, everything's so beautiful, So I did that. And then I thought, okay, at that time also, which I forgot to mention, when I joined Dr. Sunday Diligence platform, I started commenting, so making notes on the platform, because I felt, once again, I wanted to help other people, because I felt that I was learning so much. I was learning incredibly so much, and I was being empowered so much. And I felt that I wanted to make notes on the platform so that it could help other people learn from this note and also grow. My little did I know that it was going to turn into something even much more than that. So moving on from the comments, because it got to a time where Facebook began to warn me that if I don't stop the comments, then they're going to shut me down. So to cut a long story short, I moved the comment making into an app called Evernote, where I would, once Dr. Sunday was on, I would open Evernote and transcribe his messages. So whilst he's talking live, I would transcribe his notes, and then I would share it with people who were interested. So I would announce and say, if anybody's looking for his notes, just let me know so I can share them with you, because I'm being blessed and I want others to be blessed, especially those in Nigeria who have data problems, I beg your pardon, because I discovered that in those in Nigeria, have this issue. And then also I discovered from mothers that it was helpful to be able to read the notes. So I opened or created a page on Facebook called DSA Notes and Messages. So if you go to Facebook right now and type DSA Notes and Messages, That page is what it's for. It's for his messages, it's for his notes. I don't transcribe the notes as much as I used to because of my expansion, because of now the many things that I do. But I do try. I am trying, you know. And apart from that, when I do get the time, I create posters out of his messages, once again, bringing them down to bite-sized information to empower, to help all of us assimilate these ones. This was all under the mentorship of Dr. Sandy Adelaja. Now, what else have I done? I have to go to check my my laptop. Just hold on a second. Bear with me, please. So I've mentioned my life story series. I've mentioned the talk show. So who is your daddy talk show, and then also this one missing, and also yes. I've also created a page called Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life. Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life. So why this? So what I'm sharing with you are the fruits that I have been managed to do to launch as a result of being under the incredible mentorship of Dr. Sandy Adelaja. So Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life came as a result of, I'm a very observant person, I'm a deep thinker, and I feel like, once again, Daddy God is all around us. He's in the clouds, he's in the birds, he's in the trees, he's in the kitchen, Daddy God is such that he manifests himself in everywhere. And because, we tend to be busy, we tend not to see these things. We tend not to see his manifestation. And I thought, I love my Daddy God. I know all of us, including myself, I want to be able to slow down and be able to perceive and notice him when he's at work, even in the most tiniest things, in our lives. And so spotting Daddy God in everyday life is me capturing things, capturing his situation, capturing his manifestations to help all of us, slow down and just be in awe. And it's not only that, Spotting Daddy God Everyday Life came as a result of, I feel like, when we were children, when we didn't have all these inhibitions, we used to enjoy creation, everything. We had this awe, we had this childlike faith, and we could enjoy everything around us, whether it would be a worm that is wriggling in the soil, or whether it be a flower, whether it be a butterfly. Children are very open and free, and they enjoy life. They enjoy God's creation, and children are very perceptive, But life happens, and then situations happen, and then you start becoming hardened, and you start becoming very logic, and you start questioning everything. You challenge everything in a negative way. And I thought, I want to be able to, I'm sorry, there's a bee flying over me. I want to be able to capture that childlikeness, that childlike spirit, where you can see everything about Daddy God and be in awe. That's the word. To be in awe and to be in worship and to fall in love with him all over again. So hence, Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life. And then also, as a result of Dr. Sandy Adelaja's mentorship, I started something called the Healing Journey. And this is something I lead with a small group of women over Skype on Tuesday. So basically, the Healing Journey is a group of women. We've been through stuff. We've grown up with our daddies, or life has happened to us. We've been through trauma, heartache, pain, and we are on a healing journey together with Daddy God. And people, it is absolutely amazing. Good evening, King Yomi and Queen Nkiru, my roomie. Hello, roomie. And this healing journey with this is a small group of women. It is absolutely amazing, because we get to experience Daddy God on a very personal level. When we meet, we talk about what Daddy God has been doing in our personal lives. We get to share our experiences, our triumphs, our trials. We get to share the unique experiences during the week, what Daddy God is doing with us, how he's training us maybe through a difficult situation, how he may be relating us on a personal level, or how we are cross with Daddy G because maybe he hasn't done something that we want. And it's absolutely amazing to be sharing our our experiences. And this is the healing journey. It is absolutely amazing. And if you want to come and join us, then drop me a message on the comments below, because we are daddy's girls. We are daddy's girls, and we have a lot of fun. We are really growing. You know, the best thing that you can do is to grow in a community. You know, women tend to be, sadly, to be gossipers, backstabbers, and all that. Let that not be our portion. Let that not be our stories. Let us, you know, comrade, and let us have Daddy God as a focus, and let us join forces and grow together. So the healing journey is a result of being under the mentorship of of Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Gave me the confidence to do this, and I'm telling you, is one of the best gifts that Daddy God has given me, you know, to be, if you like, a mentor for these women, and it's just amazing. And then another fruit, as a result of the mentorship of Dr. Sunday Delaja, is life coaching. So I do life coaching, and one of my coachees, if I can put it that way, will be coming for the HMT in November. Actually, this special coachee, or should I say daughter of mine, I absolutely love her to bits. Ever since I started coaching her with Dr. Sunday Delaja's material, I have seen her grow and grow. She is just blossoming. She is totally in it, with it. She's got it. You know, she's been reading Who Am I ever since, you know, I started coaching her on with Who Am I and other stuff. I have just seen her blossom. It is absolutely encouraging. It's absolutely amazing. It is absolutely beautiful, you know, beautiful to see her growing. And she can't wait for November. So I'm coming with her in November for the HMT. That's the History Makers Training, for those of you that don't know. But, you know, just once again, just sharing my life with her. And actually, she is the one that approached me and said, will you coach me? And I'm thinking, coach you? Well, what do I have? You know, what do I have to coach you? But then I remember Dr. Sunday Delaja, go. The world is waiting for you. Go. And so that's how it started. And I'm coaching another lady, and there have been other requests, you know, for me to coach them. So I haven't forgotten about you. Those of you who've asked me to coach you, I haven't forgotten about you. I haven't forgotten. So that's another fruit. What else is there? Ah, yes, and there's another fruit called Stately and Flourishing 50-plus Woman. Stately and Flourishing 50-plus Woman. Why this one? So I've set up a page on Facebook called Stately and Flourishing 50-plus Woman. What's the reason behind this? Okay, this is the reason. Once again, Dr. Sandy has made us, the mentees, understand that, you know, your calling is not one. It's multiple. No, I grew up with that. You only have one calling. That is not true. That is not true. You are more than what, you are much more than you can ever imagine, you know. If Daddy God can put, you know, so many seeds in one flower, why do we think that we only have one thing that we can do? You know, just one thing. Anyway, so the Stately and Flourishing 50-plus Woman is all about the 50-plus woman, the 50-plus woman above, who feels that, you know, they have missed it in life, they've made sad mistakes in life, They feel that they don't have any hope. They don't feel that they don't have any confidence. They feel like, life has passed them by. You know how the world is. The world's, once you maybe hit 50 or 60 and above, the world kind of puts you on the sideline and said, it's time for the young people to do their thing. You are past your sell-by date, and, but not on my watch. Ain't happening. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. So the stately and flourishing plus woman, as it says, and I took this from Psalm 92. We are all about showing our vavavoom in God. We are stately and we are flourishing even into our old age. By God's grace, if Daddy God lets us live into our 70s, 80s, 90s, we are going to be like that tree that is planted by the rivers of water, that their leaves never wither, So the Stately and Flourishing 50 Plus page is all about encouraging women who feel like, they've missed it in life. They've made so many mistakes. There's nothing they can do. Or like, my life has come to an end. The world says your life has come to an end. You don't have anything to offer. Not on my watch. We are going to show the world that it is very attractive to be 50 and above. It is very beautiful to be 50 plus and above, and that we have substance, because we've got talent, we've got skills, we've got knowledge that we can share with the world. And above everything else, I want to make a statement for Daddy God. That is the essence of this one. So above everything else, to make a statement that Daddy G can turn your mess and turn it into a beautiful message. He can turn your ashes into beauty. He can turn all your mistakes into this incredibly masterpiece. And he is an expert, doing that. And so for all of you there who are in your 50s, I'm just creating stuff. And once I'm done, you're going to see. You're going to be so happy that you're 50 and above. And you're not going to be looking to your younger age and wishing that, oh, I wish I was 16 again. I wish I was 18. Or I wish I was 21. Or I wish I was that. Or I wish I was that. You're going to love the fact that you're 50. You're not going to remember your youth. You're going to be absolutely so busy that you're not even going to remember your past mistakes. So that's to do with the stately and flourishing 50 plus woman. Now, what else do I have? These are the achievements, again, that in 1 year, that through the mentorship, the wonderful mentorship of Dr. Sunday Dodger. So I'm going to go through them again. So the My Life Story series, the DSA Notes and Messages, Who is Your Daddy talk show, Stately and Flourishing 50 Plus Woman, Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life. And another I forgot to mention was Awakenings Art by Anastasia Macdonald, which also is on Facebook. Now, I had created this page before I met Dr. Sunday Adelaja, but it was just dormant for a long time. But pardon me, his messages helped awaken that up. And so I'm really working on my art, and I'm hoping to be able to develop some products, which, by God's grace, 2018, I'm going to be launching that stuff, to the glory of his wonderful name. So that's Awakenings Art by Anastasia. So once again, let me go through the Kindom fruits that I have achieved up to date. My Life Story series, which is found on YouTube. Who is Your Daddy series, talk show. My Daddy God for Real with Anastasia Macdonald. Stately and Flourishing 50 Plus Woman. And for those of you who don't know, for information, I am 54, stately and flourishing 50 plus woman. Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life, Awakenings Art by Anastasia Macdonald, and then The Healing Journey, and then Life Coaching with Anastasia Macdonald. So you may be wondering, so what do I have planned in the future? Well, in July, I came for the trainer, History Makers training, and my plan and goal is to start History Makers training in the UK with my husband. Woo! So to start History Makers training in the United Kingdom. Woohoo! Woohoo! me, can you imagine? Me, I'm going to be launching History Makers training in the UK. Me, who could not talk. Me, who my mom had to beg to open her mouth and talk. Me, who was, felt intimidated all the time, who used to hide in the background. Can you imagine? See what Daddy God has done. See what he has done. For those of you who out there who feel like, there's no hope, you feel that there's no hope, you feel like that you ain't got it, you feel like, you made mistakes, look at me. I am a witness and a testimony to the incredible love of Daddy God through the mentorship, because Daddy God is not going to come down in person. He needs human beings, and he has been using Dr. Sunday Adelaide to pull all those hidden things that are locked on my inside. So by God's grace, we're holding History Makers training, and you will know when that will happen. And then also, I have this desire to hold workshops and training events where I live to empower women, especially regarding the Kindom series. Now, I'm going to pause it and talk about the Kindom series. Dr. Sandy Daleda has written a book called The Kingdom Driven Life. I cannot thank him enough. I cannot thank Daddy God enough for this book. To me, next to the Bible, this book is the second Bible. It is the book that would ground you so well, so well. The Kingdom Driven Life book, this is how I describe it. The Kingdom Driven Life book. Now, I've just started, I think it's chapter 2. The introduction itself. So this is what it's like. It is like a child that has been orphaned. So I'm just giving an analogy of my experience of reading the book so far. It is like a child, and this is what I was sharing with Dr. Sunday. It is like somebody who is an orphan and has experienced the worst life. So you're an orphan, you are a maid, you are treated so badly, you hardly have any food to eat, you sleep on the kitchen floor. Your whole mindset is an orphan mindset. And then a messenger comes on a royal horse to tell you that actually you're not an orphan, but you are a princess. And that messenger comes to take you home, to introduce you to your real parents, who are the king and you're like the queen. So they are royalty. And so you are introduced to your real home, your real identity. That's what this book is doing. You get to know, my goodness, who you are pre-Genesis. You get to see the mindset of God, the beautiful, incredible mindset of God about you and about humanity, about the world. And then it's like, it is almost as if Daddy God brings out his royal album, and he's turning the pages and he's introducing to Anastasia This is who you are. This is where. This is what you were. This is what I was dreaming before you came into the world, and this is what I've got planned for you, and this is your home, and this is what this kingdom is all about. This kingdom is all about love. I am love itself, the kingdom of peace, righteousness, peace, joy. Sorry, there's mosquitoes. I believe there are mosquitoes in Ukraine. And it is a thorough in-depth of your identity. So who you are, whose you are, and what you've been called to do. That's what the book, it is absolutely amazing. Now, Dr. Sunday Delaja has written many books, and I always tell him, I don't care, not I don't care. What I mean to say is, this book is the foundational book that every Christian needs to read, and not just read, to study it. I'm so sorry that I don't have mine. I wish I brought mine downstairs, but Dr. Sunday did a book review of this one I'm describing to you, and so you can watch that on the Kingdom Fruits, about the Kingdom Driven Life book. But I have been underlining every word, every sentence. I've been scribbling, making notes. Good afternoon, Queen Euphoma, and Adiola, Mary Ann. Thank you for joining me this afternoon here. I'm live in Ukraine, in my best mentor's home, Dr. Sunday Delaja, and I'm doing a post video on my 1 anniversary of Kingdom Fruits. So 12 months since I met Dr. Sunday Delaja, and this is the story I'm narrating to you all, sharing to you, so that you can be encouraged. And so this book is just totally, it is totally amazing. And now, do you know what it's like, queens and queens? Do you know what it's like? It is like, you know, somebody has taken faulty glasses off my eyes and has been put, and and has put 20/20 glasses. What it's like. So now, you know, when you watch my video, especially my life story series, you know, I talk to you, I share with you how my mind was messed up, how it was dark and all the rest. So you will understand where I'm coming from. But now I have kingdom glasses on. I can see things more so clearly. I can see why Daddy God does what he does, and I can understand him more. I can understand my identity more. It's like, you know, it's as you can see clearly now. You know that song by who, you know, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Now I can see now. You know, this brings me to, you know, that story in the Bible, that guy that was blind, and you know, Jesus rubbed sand on his eyes, and he asked him, can you see? And he said, no, I can see men as trees. And then he did his thing again, and then he could see. So that is what it's like. Reading this book now makes me to see Daddy God for who he is, to see my identity for who he is, to see why I am on earth. It is absolutely amazing. And I am begging every one of you, for those of you who are watching me right now, and for those of you who watch the replay, I am begging you with my whole being to get this book, the Kingdom Driven Life book by Dr. Sunday Delaja. Please get this book. It will enlighten you in ways that you would never imagine, especially for those of us, you know, who've been Christians for a long time, and you know, we've been indoctrinated with religion and all that. It will really, really minister you so deeply. And it's not a book to read. It is a book to study, to take your time, because there's so much truth there. There's so much liberating truth. I can only, at most, I can only read like a page or two at a time, because it is so loaded with truth, with freedom, with understanding about Daddy God, the kingdom, our calling. I just see things so differently now. And honestly, every time I read, I'm so humbled. So I really, really encourage you to read that book. And, you know, what else? What can I encourage you? What can I encourage you with? What I want to encourage you is to look for a mentor. And because I only know one best mentor in the whole wide world, is come and be mentored by Dr. Sandy Adelaja. Now, I'm going to warn you that Dr. Sandy Adelaja, when you come in contact with the first time, you probably will be like so shaken because you haven't heard you haven't heard this kind of message. So, for example, I shared with you about when the first message I heard, why joblessness is a blessing. I mean, how can you say that joblessness is a blessing when everybody else is saying that, you need to find a job and all the rest? How can one person say that joblessness is a blessing? So those are the type of messages that if you're new, you probably think that, what audacity does this man have to say, what he's saying? But I just want to encourage you to be, to be be open-hearted, and as Dr. Sandy would say, let him learn. Give God a chance. Let him speak to your heart. Let him speak to the deep places of your heart, and your life will never be the same. Am I saying that Dr. Sandy Adelaja is the only best mentor in the whole wide world? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm sure there are a lot of mentors out there who are doing an incredible job raising, God's children and God's people. I'm sure there are a lot out there, but the one that I know right here is Dr. Sandy Adelaja. That's why I'm talking about him. I don't know about others. I know about Dr. Sandy, and I won't talk about who I don't know or who I haven't experienced. So, hence, I would say that give Dr. Sandy Adelaja a try. Give God a chance and see what he will do in your life. Like I said, I've been a Christian for 30 years, and I can't say that I could really point to any fruits to you. I cannot say I can boast to you that I've been going to church for 30 years, but I can't say that I can't show to you any fruit. But when it comes to being under the mentorship of Dr. Sandy Adelaja for just 12 months, I have seen myself grow so much. And another thing I forgot to mention is the love that Dr. Sandy Adelaja has for God. For me, that is the most important and the most critical and the most beautiful gift that Daddy God has given to me. I don't think that everything else would matter to me, would speak to me, if he didn't love God the way that he does. To me, his love for God is just simply amazing. And not just his love for God, the way he exemplifies God, the way he is, he is God in the flesh. We are all supposed to be God in the flesh, and we are all, by God's grace, we are learning to, to be imitators of God by watching his lifestyle. I've been to Kyiv. This is my 4th time. Now, I'm not the kind of person that, that tends to want to leave their home to go, to go to somebody else. I'm kind of a private person. I'm kind of a, domestic, I'm homeless. I'm a homely type of person. And so for me to leave my home, to fly to somebody else, that means that that person has something very special or has done something very significant for me to do that. And so, he's the only person, and I say with all due respect, no, I'm not insulting any man of God. I'm not discrediting any man of God out there, but he's the only person I can say that he exhibits, the life of God in a way that is so empowering. He is the most humble man of God that I've ever met. He is the most hardworking man I've ever met. He is, he comes down to your level. You see, I'm even stuttering because I don't even know where to begin. He loves people, and he's taught us that, if you say you love God, then you need, if you love God, you must love people. And I see him love God, and I see him loving people. you know, and I'm so honored and so grateful that I can be in his presence to watch him. You know, he's a very open book. He doesn't hide. He's who he is at home, with his family, with his wife, with people. He is Dr. Sunday, you know, and I have never seen anything like it. You know, I'm doing this video from his home. He owns a 60-bedroom mansion, and only lives in 1/10 of the mansion, and the 9/10 of the mansion is for all of us who want to come and visit. You know, if you want to come and visit him, you are very welcome to come here and be in his presence. And I have never seen anything like it. I don't know of any man of God that has built a home that invites all the world, you know, to come and be home, you know, be home. I haven't seen anything like it. I haven't seen anything like it. And I'm learning so much about the love of God in the flesh through this incredible mentor. Another thing that I've learned so much about him is called conversion. He talks about conversion a lot. You know, using your time wisely, maximizing your time, learning to convert intangible products to tangible products. So intangible energy to tangible products and services for humanity. I didn't know anything about that. And so to date, I work with that mindset that time is very important, learning to maximize time, learning to convert it, not for myself, but to help the world, to make the world a better place, because that is what Daddy God wants. I learned it from Dr. Sunday Adelaja. And so, I guess for myself, because, you know, I didn't have a dad, and I didn't have a dad as a role model, it speaks to me a lot. So not only do I see him as my best mentor in the whole wide world, I see him as a father figure, somebody who role models Daddy God. So I'm able to see more clearly the life and the heart of the Father through him. He's not perfect, you know, he's not perfect, but he tries every day to model, and he challenges all of us to develop a personal relationship with God. That is the most how do I put it? That is the most beautiful, the most empowering, the most liberating thing I hear. That is his mantra. You develop your personal relationship with God. Don't let the church come between you and God. Don't let the pastor come between you and God. Now, as I've said before, is the church important? Yes, the church is important. Does the pastor have the role in your life? Yes, the pastor has a role in your life to equip you and train you to become, to equip and train you, understand who you are, and to do everything that God has called you to do. The church is there to help you develop your personal relationship. The church is there to help you to get to know God. But unfortunately, that is not what we see in the church today. We don't see that, you know. So it's very, very beautiful, you know, to see somebody, you know, living that lifestyle and encouraging you all the time to fall more and more in love with God. I really, really admire that. That really means a lot to me, you know. So the advice I have for you is to give Dr. Sunday Adelaja a chance, or whoever Daddy God is telling you, you know, to mentor you. What else is there? What else can I share with you? The fact is, you know, I am the most satisfied and happy person ever since I came into contact with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. And the reason being is because like I described before, getting to know Daddy God, to understand Daddy God about the kingdom, identity, not feeling, you know, like an orphan, even though I'm Christian, feeling at home with God. All these things make me just feel fulfilled, and that also, you know, that I'm out there helping people, much of the stuff I do, like it is, is on Facebook. That I'm not living for myself. I'm not being selfish, but I'm pouring out my life to be a blessing, because that is what is important to Daddy God. Because that is what He's wired me to do what I do. Learning to live for others, to be a blessing to others. That's what is giving me the fulfillment. Not being at that place where you all your life is centered about your problems, your issues, your sorrow, your heartache, but learning to give all the time, even if I have a challenge, now my mindset is like, okay, this is happening, how can I turn this around to help other people? So I might be going, maybe because we're human, we're still human beings, and life is still real out there, and life still happens, challenges all around. So now, whereas before I would just be wrapped around in my own mindset, I'm all about thinking, how can I turn this around and help other people? So I hope I haven't been ranting and raving, and I hope I've been making sense. So for those of you who want to know or have his Dr. Sandy's contact, he's on Facebook. If if you type in Dr. Sandy Adelaja, at the moment he's doing some very what should I say, serious series on the church. He's helping us to understand what is paganism and what is Christianity, taking us a real series of how paganism is really becoming an issue in the church, and how the church actually is dying. So paganism seems to be resurrecting so strongly in the church, whilst Christianity is being put to death. So he's doing a series on this, really showing us how the church is actually becoming very paganistic in all its activities. And I really want to encourage you to join him live here, which is 9 o'clock. In the UK it's 7 o'clock. So, and that is on Facebook if you type in Dr. Sandy Adelaja, and then on YouTube you can find him on his page called Sunday Adelaja Official. Sunday Adelaja Official, that's YouTube. And then he's got a blog called SundayAdelajablog.com. SundayAdelajablog.com. And like I said, HMT will be on in November, and I think it's from the 6th to the 11th, the 6th to the 11th of November. So if you go to SundayAdelajablog.com /visits, you will see, you get the information how to fill out the form and make your way to Kyiv. And I'll strongly encourage you to come and be part of this HMT. Your life would definitely not be the same again. You're going to go back a very different person, very empowered person. You're going to learn how to convert all those things that you have hidden on your inside and make them tangible products and be a blessing to humanity. And for those of you who want to know my contact, Facebook is Anastasia Macdonald, and then YouTube once again is Anastasia Macdonald, and then my Instagram page is titled or called Awakenings Art by Anastasia. Awakenings Art by Anastasia. So this is my my post Kindom Fruit video. I hope I've been able to encourage you by sharing you my journey ever since I came into contact with Dr. Sandy Adelaja, or should I say ever since Daddy God in his very unique way helped me stumble or lead me to Dr. Sandy Adelaja. I hope you'll be encouraged, or you have been empowered, and you would also give God a chance to forge your way. Yes, I hope that I've been a blessing. It's, I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the time of my life, and I really, really thank God. I hope that one day some people, my generation, would look at me and say the same thing that, I want to thank Daddy God for Anastasia Macdonald, for her life. I hope a generation will call me blessed, because I will do everything that is on the heart of God that He put me here to do. I hope I can make Daddy God so proud. I hope that I can die empty. That the day that He finally calls me home, I have emptied all that is put within me for my generation and for the people that He's called me to. So, thank you, all of you, for taking the time to watch this video. And for those of you who watch the replay, thank you so much for taking the time to watch to this end. I really appreciate your time. Have a lovely rest of the afternoon. My name is Anastasia Macdonald, and I'm speaking live from Dr. Sunday Denada's house, whom I call my best mentor in the whole wide world. Have a wonderful afternoon or evening or morning. Okay. Bye.